Paul McGuire Grimes, ABC, Minneapolis. Tom, it is really great talking to you today. I've watched all 10 episodes of The Crowded Room, and you are so fantastic. And congratulations on this. Thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you watching the episodes, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, you're so great in it. I'm curious, I always love when actors get involved behind the scenes creatively, and you are a producer on this as well. So I'm curious, what made you get involved as a producer, and what did you learn about yourself along that way?
To be perfectly honest with you, I think the reason I wanted to be a producer was because the subject matter and the character was so daunting. I wanted to be able to protect myself should I needed to. I never had to. The studio were great. They were supportive. The other producers were fantastic. But ultimately, it was a really fun experience. It was a huge learning curve. I learned so much about what it means to be a producer, about, making a show come to life, building the New York in the 70s, London in the 70s. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I would look forward to doing it again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm loving the 70s shirt you have on. This very period. I love it. Can you talk about the research that you did without getting into too many spoilers? What research did you did, and what kind of hit you the hardest as you were kind of learning about this environment?
We did a lot of research into, bringing this show to the air. It was very important to us as soon as we started doing research that we told this story authentically, but more importantly, that we told it in a sensitive manner. We understand that there are people in the world who are suffering from this ailment, and we wanted to make sure that we paid respects to them, that we told a version of their story in a good way and in a positive way. There are aspects of the show where you get to see Danny in some pretty horrible situations, but there are ultimately situations where you will fall in love with him, you will sympathize with him, and ultimately you'll end up empathizing for him. So for me, that was kind of my goal, and it was very important to all of us. I hope that we've achieved it. Only time will tell from when the world sees it, but I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Good. I will tell you that I was always rooting for Danny.
Good.
So, I would watch a couple episodes at a time, and I'd have to take a break. And I was like, maybe it's just because it's you, I don't know, but I was always rooting for Danny. So,
good. That's good to hear.
Yeah. I'm curious, sitting in this kind of darker space, day in and day out, what do you do after a long day to take care of yourself? What do you turn to?
Friends, distractions, films, golf, good food, the great city of New York. There was loads for me to distract myself with. It was very difficult at times. Coming home after some of the scenes that we'd shot, it was incredibly tough. But, we found a way to make it work, and we got the show done, and I'm proud. I'm really proud of what we achieved.
I love that. That's so great. The Beatles are my favorite band. I love that. And
Brilliant.
I love that Let It Be is used in very pivotal moments of the show. What is your favorite Beatles song?
I think my favorite Beatles song is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I love that song. I think it's brilliant. I love the story behind it. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I got the wrap. Thank you for the time. It's a good way to always end on the Beatles. It was great talking to you again, and have a happy, happy birthday. I hope that you do something really fun to celebrate, and happy birthday.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Paul McGuire Grimes, ABC, Minneapolis. Amanda, it is really great talking to you today. I watched all 10 episodes of The Crowded Room, and you are so fantastic in it. So thank you for the time today.
Sure. I can't believe it's just so nice when you tell me that you watched all of them.
Yeah, it was a tough watch, and I did a couple at a time, and then would take a break and then come back to it. But it's really well done, and you and Tom, and the whole cast is fantastic.
Yeah,
so kudos.
You've got a great cast. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, tell me about reading the script for the first time. Did you know the arc of the story up front? Did you discover it along the way?
I knew the arc. I knew. Yeah. I mean, this project has been bouncing around for. I was thinking it was 20. It might be 30 years. It's been around a long time, and I think someone like Tom Holland was like, "Yeah, I'm up for this," and they were like, "Yeah, we got to make it because it's a great idea." It's a great idea, and then I was reading the scripts. I read them so fast because they were so beautiful, and it was such a mystery. But I knew what was going to unfold, but I didn't know how. And it's about the how, and the why, not the what necessarily. So if you do find out what it is before you see the whole show, at least you get to really discover what's actually beneath it. So yeah, it's an epic.
It is. And I love that you mentioned the why. I think the why is always the key to, I think, understanding something, especially if you don't know what is happening with someone. I love that you get to work with your husband, Thomas. He's such a fantastic actor. How did that come up? Did you pitch it to him? Was he already part of the process? And is that something you've always kind of wanted to do together?
No, yeah, we've done stuff together. We'd been making short films with a friend of ours, and so like I'm just used to being on set with him, but to be on like a real massive set, and then have him be in a cop uniform and me with my 70s hair. It was just like really expensive playing dress up. And it was nice because we have a shortcut with each other, and I feel really safe with him. And also I can be vulnerable, and he makes me feel better about my acting if I'm being insecure. And it's just nice. It's like bringing home to work, which is never the worst thing.
Right.
Because we're away for so many hours.
Yeah, and you have someone in your corner too, which is especially for material like this. Your character's kind of loosely constructed around your creator, Akiva Goldsman's mom. Can you talk, without spoilers, can you talk about maybe what you learned about her that you wanted to infuse in the character?
Oh my God, that she would work 30 hours a day if she could in order to help somebody feel better. She wrote this incredible book that gave such insight into the world that she was faced with every day, and that it was tireless. Like she never gave up on a kid. She was a trailblazer and someone who had maybe the biggest heart of anyone I've ever read about. And I'm just in awe of her. I'm in awe of him. And she wasn't a perfect mother. You read all these amazing things she's been doing, her whole life she was doing, and the world that she created for people who felt, who just didn't have a future. And the future she gave them was just, it's extraordinary. And I love that I get to honor her and play somebody that I think, has every attribute. And the world needs more of them, more Miras and more Rayas.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love, and I got the wrap. It's great to end on that note. So thank you for the time today, Amanda. It was really great talking to you again. It's always a pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you. ABC Minneapolis Emmy, it is really great talking to you today. I've watched all 10 episodes of The Crowded Room, really enjoyed it, and was very emotionally impacted by it. So thank you for the time today.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're great in it too. I'm curious, describe reading the script for the first time. Did you know the arc up front, or did they pitch it like that? And try to avoid spoilers as much as possible.
The Crowded Room is a psychological thriller. It kicks off when this young man, played by Tom Holland, is arrested for a shooting in New York City in 1979. And the story unfolds through a series of interviews with Amanda Seyfried's character as she's tasked with uncovering this mystery. When I first got the script, I got the first 4, and I was told, the extent of the mystery and story, and most of the backstory of my character and what would be revealed. And I was really moved, and I found it really thought-provoking, and I was terrified to play the character because there is such a huge transition that she goes through from this young kind of 25-year-old mom with this infinite love for her son, single mom, total caretaker, a nurse, a bartender, a mom, and watching over time as the decisions and mistakes that she makes and these deep family secrets that are so terrifying to acknowledge, those kind of shatter the relationship that means the most to her. And it kind of has a very tragic ending. But I found that the more that was revealed about the story with the twists and turns, the more that made sense about the characters and the more empathy I was able to find for all of them, and the similarities of how the mother and son both cope and survive what my character describes as a cruel world. I found it incredibly moving, and I was really excited to say yes.
Yeah. When you get something that is daunting and you think this is going to be a journey, does that make you want to run toward it faster, or do you put the pause on and be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this?
No, I like things that scare me, especially as a young mom of a 1-year-old at the time. And at the end of shooting, well, towards the end, found out that I was pregnant with my son. Um, it brings up deep things about how imperfect we are as people and how imperfect we'll be as parents, how imperfect our parents are, and hopefully the blind spots that we have as parents don't have really lasting impact on our children. I thought it was really moving, and it's a thriller, so I love those twists and turns.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the Beatles, and Let It Be is used
Of
at a very pivotal
course.
scene a couple times. So I'm curious, what is your favorite Beatles song?
Well, I loved getting to sing along with that one. In fact, we did a couple takes where we were singing it in the scene. That didn't make it in, but getting iconic needle drops like that is really, really fun. And getting to be in iconic cars, in iconic clothes, it's all really like transportive, and it's really fun to get to do something that's so different than yourself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I got the wrap. I mean, it was great talking to you today. I
Thank
hope
you.
people get a lot out of this like I did. Paul McGuire Grimes, ABC, Minneapolis. Sasha, it is really great talking to you. I've watched all 10 episodes of The Crowded Room and was so moved and just emotionally drained by the end. So congratulations on such a really moving piece. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Can you describe reading your scripts for the first time? Did you know the arc up front, or did you discover it by reading it? And I want to try to get away from any spoilers and have these air before the show starts.
Wait, you said
Before
no
the show
spoiler.
starts. No
Oh,
spoilers.
okay. Then no, I just uncovered it all and was like, huh, this is crazy. I love twists and turns. I love that it's kind of put together like a puzzle piece, because I even myself was handed the scripts kind of in little increments. So I still had to, learn it myself before we started shooting. And so the fact that I was getting so excited to read and that I was finishing them with like 30 minutes, I was like, let's go. Like, let's do this 100%. Yeah.
I was wondering if you got it all up front, or if you were kind of giving it like you would typically film a TV series where a couple episodes at a time. It really was just moving to the point where I'm like, I could watch a couple episodes and then I had to kind of take a break from it and then
Yeah.
come back the next day, which I think people aren't used to right now. Talk to me about your research. What kind of hit you the hardest throughout kind of learning about this? What did you take away from it?
Um, Hit me the hardest. You know what's funny is my equivalent of actual research, because for me personally, it was more of like mine and a bunch of other people's personal experiences all in this melting pot into this script, So it was
Yeah.
things that I could acknowledge and see, and it wasn't new to me. But for me, I think when I cut my hair, I feel like that was me being like, I am so exposed. I don't even know who I am with my hair like this. I'm freaking out. This is really, I feel very vulnerable, because it's like my safety net, it's my safety blanket. So even though still my locks, it's cut off like 7 years worth of like trauma and like everything. So I went into this show just being like, I'm already broken. Let's go.
Right. My
Let's do it.
God. I mean, I love hearing the dedication we had toward that, because I think people forget to think how important our looks or hair or whatever it may be is our identity sometimes of who we are. And then to let go of that can really make us go askew. After filming something as heavy, what do you do? What do you turn to, I should say, after filming something this heavy at the end of a long day to just kind of unwind?
Um, I think I started like just trying to find like funny videos to watch and like get in that zone of like, I want to giggle until I cry. And like, yeah, you just have to like jump and dance around, because it's just so hard. Or like FaceTime my kid or something, or when I go home and I'm just like, I am in mommy mode and it's dinosaurs all day. Dinosaurs. Yep.
I love it. I love a good kitchen dance party, and just playing with the kid, I think, can really ground you. I know that feeling for sure.
Yeah.
I love the Beatles, and I love that Let It Be is used at a very pivotal point in the show. So I'm curious, what is your favorite Beatles song?
I can't truthfully answer that question. I'd probably know it if I heard it, but not enough of like, here go the title. And
That's okay.
boring, I know.
No, you're fine. It's totally fine. We all have different musical tastes. What do you hope that people take away from watching the show?
I love this idea of people being able to look at what their childhood has done to like shape each individual, and also not even focusing on, oh, because of this is why this. More so focusing on the fact of like, but look at you now. Whether you feel happy about where you are or not, it's still like, but you're trying every day, because that's what we have to give each other, is a break on understanding that like it's hard out here and we're all just trying, really just trying.
Absolutely. I love that answer. That's really great. I got the wrap. Sasha, it was really great talking to you, and I hope people get a lot out of this show. I really did. So thank you.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.